Ooh, just got off of work. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, MK Specs. We had to do this a couple of times. Well, I'm finna give you one of those fishing ones. Yeah. Early to bed, early to rise, fish like hell and tell good lies. This fishing story is broadcasted and brought to you by MK Specs, myself, and a little bit of ganja. So let's get it. Here we go. Now, you know I got some fishing tales, right? And I like to fish in places that are kind of like desolate. But if you got the fan band with you, where you gonna go, right? Where you don't really want to rough it, but rough it, right? Well, there's a place for you called Lake Reflection in Hibbett, California. You can have a jolly good time and bring your family. There's set up for your RV, your camper, water, electricity. You got all your commodities. A general store, right? When I went, and it's been a while, they really needed to do some work. I went on the line and the internet, and I see some pictures like, oh, they really made it really suitable. They have the swimming pool there, and the basketball court has nice, good matting, and the playground area didn't look like 1972, right? I said, okay. Lake Reflection. All right, MK Specs, what kind of fish they got? Well, they stock their two lakes up. They have a circle lake and a square lake. The square lake, you could do some paddle boating on. The square lake usually house RVs and the little cottages that you could rent out. And if you really don't want to rough it like tent on the ground, messing your back up. If you don't want to rough it like that, you can do that. You can do that. But if you really don't want to do it, you can get you a cabin for the low. I think we usually stay for a couple of days, and the rate back in that day was probably like $7, $7.50 or something like that a day, which is a good bargain. Now you gotta have your fishing license. Let me get over, because this dude, man, he think he Batman, think he Michael Keaton, right? All right, you have your rate. You can get your fishing license there. But what I learned from my stepfather is you need to get your fishing license close where you at, because it'll be cheaper. And we are here to stack a dollar while we BSing, right? Okay, all right. General store got your bait, your line, your tackle, your bails, your sinkers, all that in there. Your night crawlers, your anchovies, your mealworms. Some people, they use crawdads, they use anything, right? Put anything on that hook and throw it in that water. But you know what we got? Yeah, we got that legendary stank bait in the house, right? Yeah, the stank bait. Yeah, stank bait catch all the fishes. And I should give a recipe of the stank bait, but it's traditional in our household that we keep that secret. But trust me, sometimes it ain't even about your bait. I've seen some situations where some people did some stuff to the water. Whatever they did, they blew a little flute or whatever, but it made the fish go into a frenzy, and we was just throwing the hook out there with no bait. And I can explain that to you. So, you got the circle. The circle lake is where you have your campers and stuff. They have your water jack, your plug, right, for your electricity. And that's good to have, you know, because at nighttime, if you don't have a screen tent, you're gonna be attacked. Especially if you put that light out. You put that light out there, you know, with your poles, right? Because you want to see what you're doing. You don't want to slip down and fall your ass into the lake. Because it's kind of, it's shallow going into deep. You know, you can roll out there and have you a math problem, right? So it's best to have you some lights. Everybody have lights. You can go to Home Depot, you can get those fog lights. Some people take the regular light off the fluorescent and they use the bug light to cut down on all those bugs. Yeah. So, Reflection Lake, what do they have? They got restock of catfish and trout. Catch a bluegill there. Stay in your lane, nigga. Stay in your motherfucking lane. Biatch. But anyway, right? That's what you catch it. And you know, the first time I started going to Reflection Lake, I had no clue about catfish. Catfish are totally different than tilapia and corvina. Corvina is usually scaly, and I like to clean my fish like on the spot, so we can fry that shit up right then and there. Because there's no better taste than freshly caught fish and chips. Freshly caught fish and chips. Ain't no better taste. You'll see what I'm talking about when you do it. Alright? So with catfish, you gotta take that skin off. So it's essential to have a pair of pliers, and you gotta, you know how to cut his tuxedo off, shit like that, and peel off that extra skin, right? Now, bluegill, once again, bluegill's scaly, but mad bony, more bonier than whiting. I mean, bonier than buffalo. I'm sorry, whiting is good, but it look ugly, right? And halibut look retarded, right? Bluegill, mad bony. Trout is good. Season up your trout like you would do your tilapia, your nuggets, right? With, and you know, because at first I was like, trout, never had trout. Trout is, you know, it's I could say equivalent to like kind of like a pollock, right? Pollock is like a fillet of sole, right? Which is good. All you gotta do is batter that up straight. So we out there on Reflection Lake, and in the summertime it's going to get hot, and you need to be careful of the tree worms. Yeah. What are the tree worms? What are you saying, MK Specs? Well, the tree worms are actually the monarch butterfly larvae. Now, when you look at a monarch butterfly, what color is it? Exactly, it's that black and that yellow. What else insect, right, has those color markings? And what those color markings mean? Because if you see them at a construction site, it definitely say take caution, right? All right. My brother, the tree worm landed on his neck and fucked my brother up. Like gave him some shit like he had the mumps, right? We was 2 steps away from going to the hospital, and you know, black people, we can't go to the hospital. That's a bill. You know, the trip about to turn to the left. You know, but you got to be careful of those too. right? Don't feed the geese. Don't try to pet the geese. Don't try to do nothing with the ducks, the mallards, and stuff like that. Don't you try to pet them. You can feed them tortilla chips, you know, but don't you try to pet them. Tell your goddamn kids, don't you try to pet them. They're not pets. They're wild, and they'll attack your motherfucking ass. Now, you're going to see a whole lot of gophers. And, you know, where you see the gopher, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see Mr. Snake, right? So, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Raise these niggas, man. Up tonight, boy, be pulling up on you fast and shit. You need to leave them Percocets alone. All right, but anyway, the insects, you know, you got to be careful about them. You know you're going to get some red ants there, right? Now, me personally, I like to set up shop, set tent up before sundown. I've never went there like early in the morning. It always seemed like we got there in the evening, because on the trip there, you'll go through the orange orchards, right, where all your orange juice come from, that California goodness, right? And then that's when you start seeing more of the general stores, like, you know, the stores that they have peanuts and all type of goodness, man. You're like, yummy. You're like, okay, you know, I can mess with this, right? Yummy. Cherries, all type of goodness, all type of goodness. But it was different. It was different. A lot of hick folk, you know, different kind of redneck, but, you know, hick folk, and they like to be nice to you. They like to be very nice to you. And, you know, those general stores, you might see some things that you be like, you know, okay, turkey jerky, and, you know, a lot of dehydrated things, you know, pineapples. They got the date farms there. I mean, some interesting stuff. I can remember and recall the peanuts. The peanuts will be real large, like the ones when you go into a bar, like the beer nut peanuts, right, they have out there. And I guess it's already salted, right? Yeah, you would definitely have some of those. And we used to get them. Yum, 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 yum. The general store. But I was too the normality was the liquor store. Now, the unique thing about Reflection Lake is there's a mountain that sits westward, and this mountain, I swear, has this concrete slab out the side of it that you swear it's a silo. Like, it has to be a silo. But if you know the geographical area, that the landscaping, I forgot what it's called, that has the rocks sticking out of the landscape. It's an Indian word, but I forgot what that word was. But that's the landscape. And you will see a lot of that, like in the desert areas of California. You will see a lot of that. You know, get your fish on. Get your fish on at any given time. You know, there was never like a sporadic, like, okay, the fish biting right now and then the fish not biting. It depends on your bait. You know, it depends on your bait. Definitely, if you're using some night crawler, you're gonna catch some smaller shit, right? But that good old stank bait. I never liked lures. Like lures, to me, I think that's the longest way to fish. And what I mean by it's like, you'll be lucky to fish, get that lure. But some of y'all good with the lure. Right, y'all good with the lure, y'all throw the... Y'all good with the lure, y'all throw the shit back. Stay in your lane, nigga. Okay, back to the show, right? Because motherfuckers be driving all crazy, right? And then when you be like, you know, show them what's up. But anyway, I'm not a lure fisherman. I throw some bait on there. I know bait has the best success rate, right? And night crawlers, you throw some night crawler out there, you're gonna get something faster than you throw some anchovy out there. I'm just saying, they love that worm. That's what my stepfather used to say about women. They love that worm. Or mealworms. Mealworms right there, you know, with the sawdust, right? Yeah, mealworms will get it. They'll get it. They'll get it. But, you know, we'll go there and fill up the whole cooler with catfish of all sizes. And some will be too big sometimes that we can't, you know, take those back. You know, we can't take those back. We just like, you know, gotta throw him back. And it's this thing my stepfather uses, right? Where it has the hooks on a chain, right? And then you put the hook through their gills, and you chain them all up like slavery. You chain them all up, right? Like slavery. Throw them back in the water, and then pull them out when it's time to go home. But you make sure that you get some ice. You got to put them on the ice. You put them on the ice, right? Right here, nigga. I'm sorry. You get your ice, right? You throw that ice up on them, and then guess what happens? They go through that hibernation process, right? They go through that hibernation process. Fuck this nigga. They go through that hibernation process, right? And it puts them to sleep until you put that warm water back on them and shit. Nah, nigga. And then they won't wake up. But when you put that, you know, I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let boys, yeah, nigga, whatever, nigga. Whatever, nigga. That's why your light out. Anyway. Man, I don't nigga, what nigga, how you driving, nigga, and how you driving. Like, really, though. All right, now my mind is focused. The unique thing about Reflection Lake, man, they had this old arcade in there. It had like these 3 pinball machines, and then they had mad Atari games in there. It had Missile Command. It had the Centipede with the ball. It had Combat. It had Miss Pac-Man. I think Joust, man. But me, my cousin, my brother, we would go in there. We were, first of all, we were some Centipede. Who can get the highest score? And we already know Centipede and Millipede, they're very repetitive. Like, that was the area of, you know, high score, right? You know, The first board is easy, then it just turned like the second board just instantly it gets harder and harder, right? And we was getting that damn combat on, right? So you know how that was. And those are cult flavors, so it has some nostalgia to it that you would appreciate. At Reflection Lake, it was my first time actually smelling skunk piss. Like, you know, when a skunk is threatened, that smell, you know what I'm saying? And I know you probably done said it was some, you know, some coochie that you smelled, right? That had a, you know, a tarnish scent to it, but nothing's like that damn skunk. That skunk was stuck up the whole campground, right? I guess a little boy, he got sprayed for messing with him, because you can't feed him like that. You can't be like, hey, Mr. Skunk, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Skunk, you know, takes a hot dog out your damn hand, right? And then, you know, piss on you in. And that stuff, it's so potent that you have to take a bath in tomato soup. You know, little Timmy, they got sprayed. They got all the tomato paste, the soup, all that. They had to drive from that area and then go back to straight town and lather him up. And I had no clue about the tomato will desensitize that skunk. That's skunk piss. That's skunk piss. Pissed off skunk piss. I'm trying to tell you, man. But it's a place that when you don't want to rough it, you can rough it somewhat. You know, you can catch you some San Bernardino channel, right? You don't have to deal with I don't think you have to deal with the they call that the fish inspector police to come. But people mind their business. They're very friendly. They're very friendly. And, you know, you'll see black people and white people together in the spirit of fishing. And you know, they got plenty of Budweiser and Coors, and you know how that goes. So when you got some time and you in Cali and you want to take the kids out and do something, especially in the summertime, swerve on down to Reflection Lake in Hemet. Got some good memories here. Y'all have a good one. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to my content. About to hit this freeway, take this long drive.